Hello, Calm Farmers, and welcome back to the Calm Farm, calmly farming rice and vegetables every freaking night. FS25. Remember, if you're tuning in live, skip to the present moment. If you're tuning in dead, hello and welcome back. Let's get to it. Let's get busy. To anyone who was on deck last night, we decided at the end of stream that we would spend our month off making some decisions, planning for the future, having a little think, because you've got to be considered when you do these things. You can't just rush in and start bloody big. You got to think about it. Climbing fan, hello, Mr. Cool, in school. Glad to have you here watching. People think it's all about the farmers. Not true. More than anything, we need people tuning in. We need people on deck. Because that provides the vision, And the end of the day, that's what it's all about. Achieving a vision. A beautiful vision. All right. We've got a day off, so I'm going to go check in with the horsies and go for a little ride. Shiver. Nifty. I'm going to wake up Nifty. Looking for Little Fast. Small one. There we go. It's good to have a schedule like that, Mr. Climb. Talking about being intentional, That's a good example of it. Going good, just finished work. Always nice to come out and get a little gaming done after work. I love it. Oh, okay. I guess these guys are just 1 month away from... Oh yeah, next month they're ready for harvest, the short grain. Okay, so we don't need to flood the short grains, but I think the long grains need a flood. Nice. Always cool to get a little bit of an early morning, mindset check, make sure you're feeling good. Going out in the world in a good space, good headspace. Cool, nice. We can get a little hour in. Once I've flooded these fields, I'm going to start getting some of the deliverables ready. But generally, today, yeah, we're trying to make some decisions. That's the big goal for today. Early streamer up this time of morning. That's good. I love it. I mean, we have so much work to do out here on this farm. And it's always, it really is nice to make friends online. I really, yeah. I feel like a lot of the new crop of streamers are like, I don't watch a lot of streamers, and it's because it doesn't seem like they're, I don't know what I'm trying to say here. Thank you. I'm glad to have you. There's a type of farm sim streamer who they seem kind of unable to relinquish control over their farm. And I don't know. Our farm isn't like completely well organized or anything like that, I wouldn't say, but okay, nearly there with that. But we've got a lot of character in it. We are going to tidy up this little space today. And thanks for even calling yourself a fan. That's nice. Very glad to have you here, bud. Oops. Okay. Let's take little fast out for a ride. So, we've been talking plans for the future. With the purchase of this field, we would then split it like that down the middle there, and then maybe split it half and half, long grain and short grain. Shane, going good, mate. Just finished work. Straight online. How's yourself? Do you reckon next season we maybe put a rice field here to kind of mirror that one? The yin and yang. Oh, you're in New Zealand. I was going to ask, the spelling of Shane like that struck me as a Kiwi thing. Anyway, good to see you, mate. Okay. We're trying to figure out the next step here. It's not that important, but it kind of is, you know. I just want to get a bit of thinking done about it. Kiwi Farmer, hello. Right on, Shane. That's the surname, Zuidenhout. Dutch. Said Dutch South African. So purchasing that field would be the logical thing, I think. That would mean we own everything this side of the highway. We own the flour mill, and then then everything up to the river here. So in terms of pricing it out, it would be, so let's get a little ledger going here of what it's going to cost in total. Farmland. So 350 for this. 350. The other conceptual thing I was thinking was oh, cool. No, yes, we've smashed follow on Kiwi Farmer. Aha. Maybe we could have a kind of like a Bledisloe Cup of farming. Huh. Many people call me the George Smith of Farm Sim. Nice. We got ourselves a little community happening here then. We got ourselves a little bit of a community happening here. That's kind of cool. It's kind of cool indeed. All right. Well, honored to be here. All right, so let's price this out. So it's 350 for this property. We want to the thing I was looking at constructing was a where is it? Huge ugly building. A cereal factory. So 240K there. It's kind of ugly. We just have to surround it with trees and, you know, do our friggin' best. We'd have to place it right there. We do, Nick. Hello. That's a nice idea, Climbing Fan. It's a really nice idea. That's good, James. All right, see you later, Shane. I did not shower after work, so I'm a little bit fucked up here, but it doesn't matter. So this was where I proposed the cereal plant. So that's 350 plus 250. There's 600K in the drain. Good, thanks, Nick. How you doing, brother? Good to see you. How's school? How's the studies going? Another thought I had, or kind of dreamed up, was that we're going to need more shed space. Without a doubt, we're going to need more shed space. What's that? Does that actually open on both ends? No. No, it doesn't. Oh, it does. Do those doors all open there? on the shed? From what ends does that thing actually... Oh, it opens up there. All right, no point in that. What is that? Where do these things open up at? There we go. Okay. Maybe. These are all so ugly. I mean, that could potentially work. It's cheap. 10K. That would be the idea of this one. We would delete the house, we'd delete the other shed, and we'd have that sitting there. That would give us a bunch more storage space for the for the harvesters. You have one like the green shed and you can put stuff under it. Yeah, I was going to say, because we're definitely going to need new storage. We've got 3 harvesters. We've got all this gear down here that we still haven't put away. It's all just taking space in this like sort of side area here and like over here. I feel like we're going to need a bigger shed there. I don't want to move the Chinese style house because I really like it, but I do think a better position for the house would be up here. You know what I mean? We've spoken about this before. This isn't a new concept. We don't need to build a fucking mansion like this stuff. But, well, you know, that's a nice big mansion, that one. Spiffington Manse, we'd refer to that as. Spiffington Manse. Shame you can't go inside these buildings. So you can actually build just if we don't like the thing, we can just rebuild that one. What is that? Ugly. This I like. Building a gorgeous Queenslander like this. So we'd have to lop all of these trees, construct a road up there, and then, yeah, basically we would have, let's go up to that space. So what I'm thinking of, Neek, is shed across there. That's the other mod, Neek. Exactly. It's been there for months and we've never done anything with it. Shed across there, giving us, you know, doubling the storage space. Thank you, James. I really appreciate that. The reason it's nice is because I don't make the decisions myself. Everything we do, we just discuss it at length. So please, Jim, if you've got anything to say opinion-wise, let me know, because we're all about new ideas. And like, I don't want to make decisions on my own, because then when they're bad, it comes down to me. Okay. All right, so we'd lop. Let's see, is this loppable? Okay, so this seems to be the boundary here. So we'd lop this tree here, this tree, this tree. These are some huge trees, so it'd be kind of hard, I guess, in a way, but man, we should plant some of these Manchurian red pines around. That's fucking beautiful. We'd lop a bunch of these trees here. We'd clear this space and we'd build the Queenslander mod. We do have ourselves a flying tree. And then we'd build ourselves the Queenslander mod back here and have a kind of forecourt. And then, you know, when the game starts, we're just overlooking this. We could have the afternoon meetings, you know, out here on the rocks overlooking the thing. And yeah, we would, I guess, knock out those two buildings there, replace them with this shed. Give ourselves a bunch more storage space. Yeah. Use this like vertical space that we've got here. We definitely should plant some Manchurian red pines. That is an absolutely beautiful tree. Hunter, good to see you, mate. Very good to see you. Yeah. All right. So that's one idea I've got, to use some of the money. That would probably, I don't know how much that would cost us. Probably not much, because we'd sell both these buildings. The shed only costs 10 grand. I reckon, how much do these things sell for? There you go. We would actually make money selling the house and the open wooden garage. The new farmhouse would cost 55k. All right, so it's 65 and 10, 65,000 in building costs. Should we write all this down? It's my marriage certificate. There we go. So it's true, Nick. It's true. House/shed. So we gain 25k. No, is that 28? That's 28. So we gain 35k plus 35k plus whatever all of this timber sells for, which I don't think it's inconceivable to say we might have in wood chips. Let's say, how much wood chip is that? So one of those trees, one of those hurricane trees is 4 grand. So let's say conservatively, let's just put it on the bottom end of town, 10 grand. Okay, it's interesting. How do you load them into the containers? Okay, so it's 10 minus 10k, and then so that's 35k building sale, 10k wood. Again, that's a conservative read. G'day, Harry Jonick. Okay. You know what? And then we go minus 10k shed, minus 55k house. So it's 40. It'll cost us 20k to do that. Plus, let's say some external costs, 30k. So the house/shed plan. No, Nick. What we're going to have to do to make that happen is we're going to have to clear all these trees, probably flatten a piece of land here, and then we would connect it to the road here. We would have this road fork here, where it goes off to the goats, and just meander up to it here. Yeah. So we'll have to cut a few more trees there for that as well. There'll be some landscaping, there'll be some, you know, we're not going to know how that'll turn out till it's done, is the thing. That's going to be just guesswork and doing our best. Planning as well will help. So that's the house/shed plan. I think we can make financial sense of it. Yasmin has been pushing for the Queenslander to go in for a long time. If the plan happens and it looks like shit, I mean, look, we don't even have to delete the other shed. We can just, you know, if stylistically, maybe it makes more sense to just pop in another one of these. The twin sheds. Keep the styles the same. You know? Maybe that actually makes more sense. Another one of these sheds, 3 more slots, that would be enough gear for us now. It's true, but we've got to think of the aesthetics, you know. Also, end of the day, we're going to be hanging out here a lot. Like, we're going to be hanging out in this place a lot. So I think we do need to think visuals to a degree, I'm pretty sure. So that's the house/shed plan. That's looking like roughly a 30k loss. Let's say 30 to 50k. That's an amount of money that I can easily sell to the crew. I don't think anyone's going to have a problem with it financially. Yeah. Other things on the wish list. People were crying out for a new tractor. My proposal was the T8 Genesis. It's going to give us 435 horsepower. If we get sick of the wheeled format, bang. We drop a cold 20 grand and we got it with tracks. That's going to increase the tonnage and weight a lot. We buy it at first for 292, 300k. Other things around that budget are the Magnum series, the Case Magnum, big heavy tractor, less power, but with the option of a 3-point attacher, which this also has. So, all right, forget that. I would still, I vouched for the New Holland. I like this tractor. That's my personal opinion, but I'm not precious about this. Other alternative at the top end of town price-wise, we can talk about the 100 Vario. It's about 100k more, getting 517 horsepower. Doesn't come with the tracked wheel option, but would just like deliver a monster load of power. Get it in black as well if we're feeling insane. The 900 Vario, says Nick. Where's the 900? Okay. Good power load. Again, we can put it in black, design line, you know, get it looking fancy. Change the rim colors, that's fun. change them back to red. Change the wheel setup to that. I mean, that's kind of not a budget option. It's got 415 horsepower to the T8's 435. All right. The 800 Vario, that's in the medium tractor pile. I think we do not have we've got the 8 series. No, we've got the 7 series Deutz-Fahr. Okay. 900 Vario. How much for the Massey Ferguson 285? Because that's 425 horsepower coming in at 292. That's a good looking tractor as well, the Massey. I'm still vouching for this is what I'm craving, but this is a tractor that I've just enjoyed a lot in a previous playthrough. It does have the most power and it's got the tracks option, which is gonna, I don't know what that actually gives us. The smart tracks. I have no idea what addition that gives us. It's just heavier and more traction. No, Yaz, no. I finished work early. Take it, relax. We're budgeting out some of these plans. Anyway, the new tractor option, let's say the most expensive option that anyone's mentioned so far has been the Fendt, which at maxed out cost is going to be $415,000. Shane wants the shiny new toy. Of course you want. Of course you all want the new toy, all right? Everyone just, of course you all want a new tractor. I'm just going to write in capital letters, tractor, in brackets, shiny. And we'll budget, let's just budget 420K on that. Massey Ferguson, yep. I like the New Holland because I like Pennsylvania, and they're from Pennsylvania. Also, it would be blue, which would mean we could call it the big blue as opposed to the little blue. And yes, we should run a poll. Yes. We should be honest about this, Mr. Cool. Yaz and I are against John Deere because they took industrial action against their workers a few years ago, and I just never forgave them. Neek, the use of the tractor, what we're looking for the tractors, what we want the tractor to do is basically make cultivation easier and be able to pull something like the NZ Extreme, 400 horsepower, 14.3 meters across. We want to go big on the cultivator. Or the Einbach, just something with a seriously nasty reach. It's a shallow cultivator. Which one do we use? Yeah, exactly, Nick. We're not going to lose a tractor in this. We're going to keep all tractors on deck. But yeah, we basically want to get a giant cultivator to just speed up the cultivation process. It would give us access to a bigger seeder. Where are we? At the moment, we're using the Bednar Omega 00, and we could conceivably step up to the Amazone 15-meter seeder. Yeah, So at the moment, the highest horsepower requirement we've got is, so that's 300. We might have need for a 400 there. Oof, the super chisel, it's insane. The 400 horsepower is what we need. So that puts in the discussion. Oh, if you're on deck as well there, Harry Jonic, and you want to start loading the daily deliverables, the tasks we have today are really simple. We just want to load out everything from the farm and ship it to the canning factory and the farmer's market. I'm going to get on the tidying up of this. We probably should make some TMR, and we should water the greenhouses and feed the chooks. So just basic stuff like that. Just have at it. Have at it. The Veda star. Okay, yeah, good shout. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. We want something that's front wheel drive and has a lot of power. 435 is overkill. We could get it done with the Massey Ferguson. We could get it done with the 900 Vario. We could get it done with the Case Magnum. I love this little Fendt. We've had one of these before. These are fucking great for plowing. But not good for much else. Okay. Valtra, interesting. Yeah, that's got the power. It's got a bold orange look. Reverse driving. That's fucking dope. Just drive that sucker in reverse. Love it. Skyview moonroof. Bold interior decorations. Change the main color out to Valtra matte. Hit him with the white. Hit him with the blue. Damn. Actually don't have very much of a problem with the old Valtros. Some aggressive styling on the front panel there. Damn. Okay. Blue looks best, all right. I mean, that would give us the power. It would come in well under budget. Okay. Okay, something to think of. Something to think of. All right. The final thing I wanted to run past everyone in terms of the girl. No more referring to Yaz as the girl, all right? She's the person. She's probably the boss, all right? So you take care with how you refer to Yaz. You'll find yourself shoveling shit out here. But yes, do keep it super respectful when referring to the girl, the woman, the person, Yaz. Okay. The other concept I want to spell out is that of this is the most expansive concept. It's something that I've dreamed of. It's something that you're right, Climate Fan. Don't worry about it, brother. There's no question in my mind that this farm would be nothing without Yaz. So whether or not she's the boss, she's definitely the linchpin. I think we're decentralized, you know, we're like an anarchist community, decentralized. Damn, that's cool, Shane. Actual insight into it. That's pretty dope. The Voltron. Maybe we're Team Voltron. The final concept that I've been wanting to discuss is the. I don't actually know, Shane. What do we got? We've got 4, 5 light vehicles, 3 tractors, 4 tractors, 5 light vehicles, 4 tractors, 3 cultivators, and like a million forklifts and skid steers. We probably have 10 forklifts, skid steers, whatever. So 5 light vehicles, 9, 12. I wonder how many skid steers we actually have. So we've got 3 forklifts, 3 forklifts, 4 forklifts, 5 forklifts. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 skid steers. So we've got 21 vehicles. I don't think we have any rented vehicles right now. I think we own every vehicle. Yeah. The Deutz-Fahr is actually in the bottom of the ocean. We should probably get rid of that. It's psychological, it's hard to explain. Turn that. We're leasing that. We should definitely just purchase one of them, I would say. Definitely return that. Leasing a couple of those 3-in-1s. We probably need to get rid of one of them, I would say. Oh, we are leasing one of the skiddies. Okay. We probably should return that. 21 months old. We maybe swap. I'd say we run this New Holland through some like hard duties. I'll take one of the old one, like I'll take the 128-month-old New Holland over to the bakery, swap it out, put this one to work, damage it a bit, return the lease, and then try and buy it again. Definitely return the Rotocare. We should return that. Just not using it. Silo King we need for now. Probably return that. All right. All vehicles are our own except the skiddy. Because they're like $100 a day. It's basically nothing. But I should just buy them. You're right. I have a bit of a silly mind sometimes. We get busy out here, you know. the harvester situation right now is we have the Fenty medium size, the Class big boy, and then the smallest Macy. So yeah, if I just hadn't leased all those skid steer attachments, yeah, maybe it's time to just do a full stock take of that and just get rid of all of them, buy them new. Can be a bit painful, but you know. No, you're right, Shane. We got that. That's the setup of harvesters. Do we have Yaz around? Yaz, you on deck? Okay. Okay, so the final concept, and I just want to spell this one out very quickly because we've got some knowledgeable people on deck, is the cereal concept. I've got a dream of making cereal. The ingredients of cereal are rice, honey, chocolate. We looked it up. Rice, honey, chocolate. We've got chocolate. At the moment, it sells for decent money. You can see a couple of pallets of it right there. 3 pallets of it. Not a huge quantity of chocolate, but we need to make the chocolate because it eats into our oversupply of milk. I've heard this. We looked it up. The cost of cereal today is where is it? Cereal. $3,700 and rising. It goes up to $4,000 a pallet. Sugar beet, Shane. Sugar beet. Which we've got sugar beet and we've got the sugar mill in town. Where is it? Here. You can see how huge oversupply of sugar. So the concept would be the location of the production, the cereal production, in my mind would be here. On the other side of this field, it's ugly, but we'll, we'll plant trees around it to make it less unattractive. Don't know what the object it's overlapping with, maybe grass. Yeah, we'll plant big old trees around it. It'll look like it's part of a forest. And I'm sure we can make some sense of it. I don't know if we put it like that or how we set it up. We'll have a discussion about that maybe. Anyway, that's where it would go. That's mean we'd just take the chocolate from there, bang, drop it off. I don't know what we do for honey, but I think we just put a bunch of honey things in there. And maybe a honey collection point over here. We'd lose one of these 2 things and just put a honey collection thing there instead. We then would we would then purchase this field here, which we still don't own. We'd split it down the middle, bango. And then we'd split it down here as well. We would have this set aside for long grain rice, which we'd pump into the mill. The other half we would use for short grain rice, which we're at, we need more short grain, basically. Why is that all full of gaps? Anyway. So short grain rice, long grain rice, and over here, I don't know, maybe beets, or maybe we split it that way. That would be good to have hail damage. Yeah, that's my thinking there. The price on that is the most prohibitive thing of it. 350k for this property, probably another 50k creating the rice fields, and then 250k for this. So 650k. That's what I was going to say, Shane. That's what I was thinking. I maybe forgot to water that one. Bummer. That does look like water damage, doesn't it? We need to remember to fucking water that. Cool. So that's the most expensive concept, but it's a concept that will use products that we already have. It will earn us, I don't know how much cereal you're able to make, but once you've made 100 pallets, you've paid for the factory. No, not even 100. Once you've made 100 pallets, it would take 150 pallets to make back. Wait, no, it's $4,000 a pallet, potentially. 6K, $3,000 a pallet. 200 pallets in, you've made your nut, so to speak. Yeah. What's 50 times 4,000? What is that? Anyway, I'm going to write it on the list. That's something that I'm interested in doing. Maybe we do it piece by piece. Maybe it doesn't all happen in one go. Maybe we buy the land, we farm it a little, then later on we buy the cereal thing. Okay, so it's 100 pallets for 400k. So 150 pallets for 600k, which equals what we're going to spend on it. Once we can ship 150 pallets. We're going to call that concept the cereal plan. Land 450k, prod. Wait, was that the actual price? $350. 350k. Production 250k. Other 50k. 650k. $50 times 4,000 is 200k. Okay, so in 150 pallets, we'll have made back what it costs to purchase not only the production facility, but this block of land. Because at the moment, we don't have enough. We've got enough long grain to get it started, but we will need a constant top up of long grain, I assume. We're also going to need a constant hit of sugar beets. Yep. All right. That's the other one I was thinking of. Neek, we got you excited, brother. Neek's jacked up. That's the problem with short grain farming, Hunter. We've switched these to short grain before. The issue is it's just such a huge undertaking. To harvest these guys, short grain, was taking us 4 hours with a team of, was taking us hours and hours with like some pretty big teams of hombres helping us. Take it easy, Nate. See you later, brother. I like, yeah. I was going to say, Shane, I don't know how we figure that out. That's the problem with the serial concept. A lot of that concept involves just, we're going to have to just suck it and see. It's a big production. Maybe it makes 10 pallets a month. Maybe it's like the canning factory where you get like, 30 or 40 pallets a month. Okay. Shane's on board with the serial concept. We're probably going to need a little more money before we do that. But I don't know. Maybe it's more about figuring out like how we prioritize these concepts. Yaz, I saw you just show up, mate. Maybe me and you smash the deliverables. Yeah, no rush though. We're having a very easy day. And conceptually, Yaz, if you've got anything, it's true. Yeah, you're absolutely right, Yaz. I mean, basically the serial concept is a way of distracting, is a way of like making sense of the mistake of the rice, of the sugar mill, because we're using the sugar to make chocolate, which is using our surplus of milk, which we would then use to make cereal. Theoretically, in my experience, like basically the fact that it's a $4,000 pallet that we'd be selling is what makes it make sense. We're talking about like a very sort of high ticket item, basically. Shane saying get a loan. Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's not going to happen without Yaz's encouragement. The other one that I brought up, Yaz, is a concept that you're familiar with, the Queenslander concept, which is nice one, Harry Jonick. The Queenslander concept, the T-unit wallet farm. Yeah, we could dip into that. Oh, Harry Jonick, you want to run that one? That one's just going to the dairy and back, please. If you feel like doing the run for me, mate. You just got to make sure that this guy's strapped, which he is, and the thing's up. Yeah, there you go. And take it slow because it's a little tippy, that one. No one has said cereal was a bad idea. They said soup was a bad idea. Soup was declared a bad idea. I think step one is we put in the honey and just see how that goes. We've got this beautiful space here for like aesthetic aesthetic honey pots. I mean, look at these. Look at that. Like we would just have them just scattered ornamentally almost around there. Maybe a couple up here. I think we maybe move the weather vane up as high up the mountain as we can, just away from all of our shit. It's really nice, right? And then we would have this like sad that it overlaps with stuff there. I mean, maybe we don't want to lose these chickens, but they are basically useless. But yeah, we would just find a place to put the honey thingy. The hidden honey thingy. Could put it back here. I don't know. Yeah, soup. Soup did not bode well with the crew. They weren't into it. For whatever reason, people were against soup. Oh yeah, Shane, we got bread, baby. Don't worry about the bread, my doggy. We make a lot of money off bread. Bread and cake is where the overflow from our rice flour goes. We make bread and cake, hugely profitable. But so basically, Shane, just so you're across like the production flow, rice is our main crop. Rice goes to the flour mill here, where you can see all the flour coming out. Flour and eggs go to the canning factory to make rice noodles. The excess flour goes to the bakery with eggs, strawberries, butter, milk, sugar to make cakes and bread. The butter we get from the goats. The milk we get from the cows. The sugar we get from the sugar mill and sugar beets, which we basically steal from other farmers. And yeah, and it nets us a pretty cold like 10K a day, I think. Pretty good money from I think bread is $2,000 a pallet, cake 2,800 or something. Let's look it up. Let's get the numbers on this. So yeah, it's just so you're across the finances of it. Bread today is selling for 1,350, but we have seen it more like $2,000 a pallet for that. Anyway, cake, $3,000 a pallet. Cereal, $3,700 a pallet, going up to, it was $4,100 in March. $4,100 a pallet. So it'll be a superior sale item even to cake for, I think, less effort than cake. Making cake means strawberries from here, milk from the cows and goats, which the effort that goes into that is immense. Basically, yeah, we're providing the products that we ship, Shane, are primarily rice noodles and kimchi. That's the main bulk that's like our standard product. It's what we're known for. It's what we've done from the start. Day one, we started shipping. Like first thing we bought was the canning factory. We bought the canning factory and this tiny piece of land here. Like this little, you can see the edge of the property there. We bought this piece of land here and just had chicken coop, and we had far more greenhouses. Those are the original two, but we had another 5 or 6. Just cranking out kimchi until we got our money up, and then we bought this property and put in the rice fields, and we're off to the races with rice noodles. Rice noodles and kimchi are our base products. Since then, we've added bread and cake to use our excess rice flour. Since then, we've added goat's cheese, regular cheese, bottled milk, butter, and chocolate. Well, bottled milk and butter we don't sell as a. So kimchi, rice noodles, cake, bread, goat's cheese, chocolate. And then a whole bunch of leftover vegetables. Yes, we are single-handedly supplying the yuppies of this beautiful, beautiful place. Yaz is sold on the cereal. The problem that we had with the cereal, Yaz, if I'm sure you recall, is the ugliness of the building. It is an ugly building. That looka laka this. Bang. What I was thinking was, we squirrel it up the back here, put it way up the back here, and then we surround it with a bunch of we plant a bunch of these guys around it. What is that? Manchurian red pine. We plant a whole ton of Manchurian red pines around it, as well as a bunch of Betula romanis, and just completely obscure the building. You're gonna make me cry, yes, that's really sweet. Yeah. IRL, that's some good shit. Yes. So we would crank it in there. It would go here. Yeah. And then the pickup zone would be over there. And the drop-off zone, we would cut a road in under the viaducts, maybe plant those trees to kind of obscure it from the cows, I guess. Maybe it's more like that. Maybe it's just like kind of offset, but that again is, I don't know what the most aesthetic choice is here. It's kind of nice with the train going past it. Maybe. $2,400. Yeah, agreed. Yes, agreed. We would then at the same time purchase this field. We would cut a short grain field, a short grain paddy in there, a long grain paddy in there, dedicate a strip of this area to sugar beets. Yeah. I was thinking that we can do them both. We have the finances to do both those things. I also haven't checked this in a minute. We cannot borrow any more money. All right, good. Okay. So to recap, planning team, we've got the tractor approach, which will cost us about 400 grand. We can do it. We would just have to have a big argument about what tractors. Maybe we lease a bunch of them out in secret, have a tractor derby and decide which ones are coolest and best. I don't think that's priority number one. We are getting by without a tractor like that right now. That's the fact. Just saying. The most affordable approach is the house/shed plan, where we would destroy, or AKA the Queenslander plan, where we would destroy these two, or where we would destroy the house. Sorry. We would destroy the house, our beloved Manchurian house. We would replace it with more storage. Bang. Or alternatively, we destroy both of those things and we replace them with, you know, a big shed like this. Bang. Ugh. Big ugly shed, loads of gear stacked in it. You get the picture. We would then, for housing, we would rip out a bunch of these trees. We would clear this space here. We would bash in the Queenslander up there. That becomes our home base. We would plant in other stuff. We'd make it beautiful, blah, blah, blah. Find ourselves standing here each night for our team meeting. I think it would be more beautiful. It would be sad to say goodbye to the Manchurian house. Look, if we want, we can build the Manchurian house up there. You know what I mean? If we're really desperate to keep the Manchurian vibes alive and pay confidence to the whatever we're trying to do. The shed rearrangement scheme. It's a cheap scheme. We estimated it at 30K once you take into account all of the sold timber. That's an option that we can execute conceivably anytime we want. It's a plan that Yaz and I have spoken about, and I think Mr. Rubber has been in on that one as well. Yaz has identified an oat scam. Interesting. Very interesting. I'm finding vehicles simply everywhere. We had a look at that last night, didn't we, Yaz? That's a good little scam, that one. Let's just see how much oat we've got already. Wait, do we need to replace the long grain? We fucking do. Okay. That's bad. It's like my biggest responsibility I've just forgotten. Like the one thing that I absolutely must remember to do each season is replace the long grain in the canning factory in June, and I didn't do it, which means we've had a little while off from making rice flour, which is bad, just because we will have to probably maybe purchase some rice flour. This won't affect us for months, but I bet that in about 6 months' time, we're going to find ourselves short on rice flour at the bakery. Because I forgot. Sorry, guys. It's all right. It won't actually be too bad. But... Oat is a cereal item. Yeah. Yes. You're right. Yes, you're right. We'll give them a chance. I was going to say they can step up a little, can't they? Give a big hit of rice to the rice factory. All right. So what does everyone think? My opinion is I think that the tractor scheme, the shiny new toy, my instinct is, and this is just because I'm a millennial with, quasi religious ideas about fucking delayed gratification and all this bullshit that they teach us is a good idea. The young people these days, they don't need that shit, and I respect that. I respect that the young people these days don't give a fuck about delayed gratification. It's probably something they just taught people my age as a scam to make us study and buy into the corrupt imperialist capitalist system that we found ourselves in. But delayed gratification would dictate that we that we do the shiny tractor scam last. Hey, big flex though, Hunter. That's impressive, dude. First mill. 76-hour flat save. Cool. We've never actually cracked a mill in this farm. We could have if we saved money. But we spend money. We're not trying to save money just yet. Okay, so I say tractor plan comes last on the priority list. That's my opinion. I'm open to other ideas. I think the I think the cereal plan comes ahead of that because it's a money-making plan. The sooner we put it into effect, the sooner we start seeing returns from it. We've got a huge backlog of sugar. We might have a huge backlog of oat. We have a lot of rice. We have the money to do it. We never even thought about windmills in this playthrough. That's cool. Just go ahead and get this shit out the way. Sorry, guys. Hey, get it, Shano. That's a snack. Ice cream with Milo. Come on. That's how it's done. That's one thing, guys. We need to maybe seek the approval of Bella before we launch into a concept like that. That makes sense. Okay. So we put off the Queenslander concept. Yeah. I mean, that's a concept that we can do anytime. It'll just give us more shed space and execute a plan that we've had for a little while. I'm not necessarily that attached to it. The greenhouses need water as well, guys. And the sapling greenhouse needs water, which I've been neglecting. I did not. I'm not anti-mod, but we don't tend to use mods that much in this farm. Trying for a bit of a vanilla playthrough. Full Sigma mode, you know. I think the eggs, if you're ever not sure where to run the eggs to, yeah, all full eggs to the shed. Whew. Big numbers, Shane. I think I'm probably around 500, I would say. Not quite walking with the kings yet, but getting there. Oops. What we have on other farmers is I think this is a much, much older farm than other farms. This is like a 20-something year old in-game farm, which we basically spend all of our hours on. Yaz, do you have any ideas about where we put the honey pickup point? Apparently honey, HJ, what is that vehicle doing down here? Take that shit back up to the horse thing. If I go to do the horse, if I go and unload those things with the goats and that thing isn't sitting around, it's gonna drive me crazy to have to walk it up there. It'd be great to have a farm that just used those little things. So yeah, as with the honey, the way it works is you place all of the honey hives or the bee houses, and then you place a central point where all of the pallets of honey go to be picked up. So you place all of the hives anywhere you want on your property, and then all of the honey goes to one central location. I was thinking over there we get rid of one of the medium greenhouses, replace it with a small greenhouse, and put the honey thing down there. That way it's close to the shed. We can just run honey up to the shed. Yeah. Okay. Sexlingham. Sure. Basically, it looks like this. The pickup point looks really, really basic. It'll just be this. So I was thinking we take that back shed, we take that back greenhouse, make it just a single one of those, and then in that space there, that's where we put the honey thing. No, it's a small one. It's a small one. Yeah, exactly. Okay. Then, Yaz, do you want to go into the construction? Once you've done your tasks, if you want to go in the construction menu, I'll do that. Install. Where is the pickup point for this one though? Why can't I see it? I'm pretty sure it's just there. Yeah. Let me get the bees and put that. Okay, so we can get rid of this. And then this guy can go. Here. Oh, there we go. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Cool. Now, Yaz, you can just jump into the build menu. And in terms of construction, it's just going to look like, I mean, I don't know which bee hives you want, but I really like these kind of oriental looking ones. And I was just going to put a couple of them, like one here. And then we can just go, let's go have a look at that. Oh, gotcha. Wait. Sorry, Shane. I'm using a Logitech cheapie, but yes, we'll see you later. Okay, this is nice. Oh, cool. Cool, 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 cool. Cool, 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 cool. All right. You get the picture, Yaz. Just smash in a couple of them, bud. Um, you know. And Mr. Harry Jonick, in terms of tasks, would I be able to get you to load up the flour at the flour mill and take it to the canning factory, please and thank you? You can't? Okay. I was thinking it'd be like, so one there, two, three, four. Yeah. 4 beehives, 5 beehives. Yeah. Then I don't know how often that's going to give us honey. But I guess we'll just see. Oh yeah. Yeah, a couple of big ones, Rob. But you know, I feel like you were present. I mean, the big change has been the addition of the bottle. But we did also just reshuffle things here to factor in bees and honey. We're trying to add honey to the repertoire. What you've been missing out on today, Rob, has been kind of a planning session. We just got them this second. They're over here. Kind of nice little situation over there. Unless you hate bees, in which case I'm sure it's a waking nightmare. But yeah, we got bees. We're kind of just doing a little bit of tidy up around these parts. Hey, nice, Rob. Between you and Yaz, you guys are saving the bees. You guys are really, truly saving the bees, and that's cool AF, if you ask me. So bakery needs 1 strawberry, 1 sugar, 1 egg, and then as much rice flour as we can spare. One strawberry, 1 sugar, 1 egg. Oh, that's pretty cool. Damn, that's a pretty dope thing to know, Yaz. I had no idea about that. Save the bees, you guys. Nice. Clutch move, Rob. Respect. The bee community rallying around the Calm Farm. No, they're some of the good ones. Don't sting them. All right. So, Harry Jonic, once you're done with that one, bud, we got another one here for the bakery, please. The Pink Pantheress. It's in the Hall Road. There you go. Too many times, too many times. Too many times, too many times. Too many times I've seen my arms swell up from stinging by a bee. I know that it ain't there, beautiful by what I turn in me. What am I meant to do? Set to something, scratch the bruise. I think that I might song this after. Yeah, we'll work on that one. I think it's time we got rid of this grass. Yeah, big respect, I think, for in Hive mentions. Fuck, I should have unloaded that down on the Hall Road. Dang. All right, whatever. That's so cool, Rob. I just read about the I just read the keyring thing. That's so cool. Cannot think of a single better use of time or money. That's it for me. I need to get one. All right. Too many times I've seen the sun come up through bloodshot eyes this week. I know that it ain't wrong or something yet. I find it hard to sleep. And what am I meant to do? Except to sit and watch the view. I think that it might rain this afternoon. Too many times, too many times. Wah, 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 wah. Oh, shoot. All right. We're doing it. We're clearing out the center road there. It's going to be clear and clean. It's about to get angry at whoever left that truck there, but it was me. Do not. That was me who left the truck there, but do not do that. It's not a smart place to leave a truck. All right, how we doing, guys? We've got young Harry Jonick on the flower load. He's off. He's gone. No, he's gone and been. He's just returning the vehicle. Very good. Harry Jonick, once you're done with that, I've got the Pink Panther S sitting in the Hall Road waiting for you, mate. Yasmin, whatever you're doing, just keep doing it, girl. Keep it up. Oh, good. She's loading. Nice. Nice. Yaz, any word from Bella that you can speak of? I feel like it's been forever. Forever since we've seen Bella. And yeah, it would be truly a case of sacrilege, plain and simple, if we were to build the Queenslander without her. I couldn't sign off on it. So we go straw times 1, hay times 2, silage times 2. Oops. Shit, we really do need this thing to be taller, hey? Too many times I've seen the sun come up through bloodshot eyes this week. I know that I get something, yet I find it hard to speak. What am I left to do? Left to sit and watch the view. I think that it might rain this. Do 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 do. That's so cool. The B squad. The B team is a good vibe. The B team. That's something with a nice name. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Oops. Oh, shoot. Oh no. Dang, who the fuck did that? Come on. Dang. No. That's not anyone's fault except mine. There we go. People be changing things. God dang it. This stuff nearly fully fermented. It's good. Mm. Yaz, the white things were our silage that Mr. Rubber kindly made up. That other pile was my bad because I stuffed it basically. Stuffed it. Ah, we lost Harry Jonic and Yaz at the same time. Okay, we've got Yaz back. So we've got the beehives installed. We've decided we're going to press pause on the housing situation until we've got Bella on deck. The cereal plan probably could actually do with a little more money. But I think it's step one. I don't know. I don't have a problem with that idea, Yaz. That's a really good idea. Shed number 2. Fuck off the shrooms. Shed number 2. That would be like, all right, I'm going to load up this TMR and then we'll have a look at that. That's because that is a really good idea. They don't. They've got no secondary purpose. And we're going to have theoretically a whole shitload of honey that we're Our first honey. We're going to have a whole ton of honey that we're going to be putting in the thingo. Yep. Yep. That's nice. That's real nice. We're going to have a whole ton of honey that will be loading into a shed of some sort, I imagine. Ah. Huh. Maybe unplug and plug them back in. Oh, dang. That's painful, Yaz. Crumbs indeed. Yikes. Hunter, that's sounded pretty nasty to me. Not a thunder dude. You don't like that shit? Thor's hammer and such? No. Respect. It isn't very nice, is it? All right. So basically, Yaz, what you're saying is that here, okay, this is good. I like where your head's at with this concept, Yaz. So it would be sheds. Well, it's not sheds, it's silos. Storage shed. So it would be, we kind of need it to be where the chickens are. Or facing that direction, maybe. We delete, and then that's like a bit of a narrow setup there for the, put it up against that. Alternately, no. Maybe. Maybe. Like that. No. Maybe we just block that, but that turnaround is so handy. We use it all the time. Move Perkins to another coop before we destroy the coop. We don't have we don't have a we could destroy that and that. Keep the chicken coop there and just have like a real narrow access way between the coop and the shed. Yeah, could do. The issue with destroying that was, does it take the fence with it? I'm totally down to destroy that. It is, I guess it is like purely ornamental, isn't it? Yeah. Okay. Maybe once we've got all the work done at the end of this sesh, we hit save and we do some experimenting. Ah, Harry Jonick. Just to the cowshed, please, bud. And then back here, please. Yeah. So that would, so say we could delete that whole thing. That would actually be kind of an elegant solution because then it would just be this thing here, bang. Nasty big shed right at the mouth of the thing, no problemo. Probably we delete that then and just leave this space open. And maybe get rid of the windmill. Look, we could get rid of both of these. They're pretty much, they're not really getting a lot of use, really. Probably the better use would just be more eggs. Belopo, hello to you as well, my dog. Hello. Hello. Hi. Good to see you there. How you doing, broski? Yeah, welcome. Nice to see you there. You a farm sim aficionado? Do you like rice? Do you like vegetables? Because we've got all that stuff here. Simulated, of course, but you know. Thank you, Belopo. We're very, very prideful of it. We're actually just having a pretty bit of an in-depth discussion about what the next step is. We've got a bit of money in the bank. We've been working hard, and we're thinking what to do next. Oh, I just thought, Harry Jonick, while you're at the cow fold, mate, if you'd also jump in the blue tractor there and do a couple of runs of milk to the dairy, that would be super helpful. And then if you want to grab the chocolate out of that stack and stick it in our choc pile over there, that would also help us muchly. Please and thank you. Can this thing lift 4? No, it's got no chance. This is about to go fucking ass over tit, isn't it? Dang, I've bitten off more than I can chew, you guys. Maybe. No. Oh well. Nice one, Belopo. 12-meter roller. Oh, that's not too expensive. We should really be in the habit of rolling that barley every time, hey? Yeah, it's good for the barley. I reckon, Yaz, yeah. I reckon that's a goer. Do you want to jump on that? Do you want to make that purchase? Hey, Gonzo. What's up, Playboy? Good to see you there. Bringing this epic load of TMR back up to the compound. I don't know. I never added it before, but I don't know what difference it makes. Maybe a stronger tractor. We were actually just talking about that, Belopo. So we've got all this money, and we've got a bunch of sort of options for what to try and do with it, basically. I'll spell you out the options. Well, the two expensive options are basically a tractor, which everyone's excited about. I'm the only one who's not against the tractor, but I just think everyone wants to get themselves a goddamn tractor. And it's like, do we need a tractor right now? We want a tractor, but do we need it? That's all I'm saying. And everyone's mad at me for it. But this is kind of a, you know, this is kind of a cool tractor. I'm pretty into what they got going on here. This baby blue tractor. Pretty into the yellow. That's a good looking trackie. And importantly, it's got enough power to run stuff, and it has a moonroof option. Panoramic window, sky view roof, you know, that's pretty cool. Custom interior. Reverse driving option, yes, we want that. I don't know, it could be good to have. Or, you know, there was also the people were also talking. I was pretty into the T8 Genesis. I think that's a good looking tractor. Banksy. I love that. You know. That's option one. Option two, we were looking at Belopo. That's the stronger tractor option. Funny you should say. Option two is we currently own all of this, and this little strip here. And I want to look into purchasing this chunk of land and installing a cereal factory, which I can never seem to find. Here we are, here. Harry Jonics keen on the T8. Yeah, I think it's a good looking tractor. It'd definitely be strong. Yaz, if you want to pick it up, mate, go for it. Looks like you're already on the way to do that. Cool. I reckon the place to drop it, because it will only be used at the moment in the barley field, I reckon the place to stash it for now might be under the viaduct there. Okay, so TMR's done. All the animals are took care of. All the watering's done. Rice has been delivered. Quickly duck over to the canning factory and see what we're sitting on there. Not too much stuff. Very good amount of not just rice flour, but flour as well. It's healthy. I think we're just one day from our last sale. We're going to let that build up. Let that build way up. I'm surprised by how few products are out there, honestly, but maybe we made a mistake somewhere along the line. The T9. What is the T9? Just, I guess, the bigger version. I also like the band Genesis. It's another argument in its favor. What's am I forgetting here? Oh, yeah. Whoop. Yeah, yeah. We don't fucking hell, I've made a meal of that. We don't often or typically have that much need for like a heavy tractor. It's not something that comes up that frequently for us. Oh, Harry Jonic, did they take that full load? No, good. We've got a little left over in there. Cool. Um, what's that at? 24,000. Can they take another 30,000 in there? Maybe. Maybe. Let's just let it sit. Okay. %. So it's going about 1% per hour. We could try and get this silage to finish its cycle. Run this up to the shed. It might be dark by the time that happens. What else is left to do, Yaz? Oh, dang. That's why I try and keep a lot of those tractors with the narrow tires. I don't know. You got to be so careful around the rice in season. I've said it again and again, but it's just so easy to go in the rice. I mean, Harry Jonick found himself in the rice the other day. Disastrous. Well, not disastrous, but you know what I mean. Nice one, Yaz. We've done all our deliveries for the day, right? Everything's off where it's meant to be. Okay. Well, that's good. Um, well, Harry Jonick, Yaz, if you guys want to do some horse riding or something like that, we could give the horses a real looking too. I rode 2 of them this morning. Um, maybe just go show some favoritism to the new horses. And yeah, Harry, anytime you're short of something to do, horse riding and horse care is really good for us. It's a really nice passive earner, and it's a good vibe to have horses riding around, I think. Good energy on the farm. Alternatively, I could just bring this silage up to 100%. We'll go forward a little bit in the time scale and just see what that looks like. 98. 99. Okay. Sun might still be up. That would be nice. Sugarcane Balopo. No, we get our sugar from sugar beets. Sugar beets. There we go. All right. Let's unwrap this stuff. How do I do that? The fuck? Okay, it's not fully fermented. All right. There we go. What the hell? Quite confused about this. Anyone got any hints about why this silage is unwrappable? Harry Jonic, do you mind coming and trying to unwrap these bales, seeing if you can do it, maybe? No, they're cooked. I just cooked them. They're at 100%. They're silage. No, they're cooked. They're done. Something's wrong because this end piece isn't sealed off. Something's gone wrong. That's the last fucking straw with this machine. If this is fucked up, that's the last goddamn straw. Rob, you know how you can, these are meant to be silage. You know how silage can be like, you weren't there for when we wrapped the original silage, the weird ghost silage? Yeah. Exactly. We made a bale snake hoping to make some fucking silage. But now this thing, see on the end here, that's what it is. It's because we logged off before we fucking ejected the bales. And now it's glitching out. And these bales can't be... Because previously, when they finish cooking, you can fucking unwrap them. It's haunting us. This machine's got to go. I'm done with it. How are we going to get rid of this giant thing of friggin' bales here in our haul road? Worst machine in the game, the Anderson Group hybrid. Yeah, we didn't pinch it off properly. God, that's so frustrating. Is it a sleep thing, do you reckon, Yaz? Do we go to sleep and get up tomorrow and see what it does? Don't anyone run into this with a goddamn thing. Everyone just stand back. Don't anyone fuck with me right now. Nah, it's too heavy. This thing is incredibly heavy. This is like a half a ton of bale here, or more. Probably each of these is 5,000 cubic. It's like 5 cubic meters each of them. 850 kilograms a pop. This is like half a kiloton of friggin' silage. It's not going to be able to lift it, Harry. And please don't push it somewhere random. Don't. This is a time for discussion. This is a time for thinking, not doing. Sorry, bud. I know you're keen to get stuck into this and get it fixed, but we're not going to be able to, even if we had all 3 of our lifters going at this at once, we wouldn't be able to lift it. Like an excavator's going to have a hard time lifting this. Oh yeah. Trying to break the snack. Yeah, the thinking's good. See these, because it's sealed off at the end. I just don't know why that would be a problem, because they're each sealed individually. And these are all fermented. This is going to drive me up the wall. This is going to drive me up the goddamn wall. It's such a specific problem. There's not going to be an online fix. Good thinking, Harry. Anderson Group, Baylor, FS 25. I'm on Steam Community. No. What the hell? They're all connected is the problem, Balopo. Oh, that's smart. Jado, yep. Let's try that. That is smart. Harry Jonic, I might need you to jump in that thing and just fuck those 3 bales off. Out of the way, please. Try and be careful. Don't move everything around too much if you can. It's good thinking, Jido. Thank you and welcome. Why do the numbers on our stream always just go through the roof when I'm crashing out about something? What is that? Okay. Let's just do this, I reckon. Let's get these fucking cunts out of here. There we go. All right. Harry, would you buy a well? Okay. Not Harry. Fucking. Oh yeah, Harry Johnny. Harry, would you be able to give that another lift, please? Oh no, here we go. Here we go. Just gentle, gentle. Take it slow, all right? Slow and steady. Don't need to overplay your hand here. Let's try this. Oh, shoot. You only got to lift them a slight bit up. If you want to bash those work lights on as well, it might help your cause. Yep. Yep. There we go. So just pull out now, please. Oh, giant. Okay. Now we get them pushed out. Jido, who are you? Where did you come from? You angel, you star. Harry Jonic, that is some beautiful, delicate work there. Now, please, for the love of God, give me my bales. Still won't do it. What the heck? So this one is now at 0%. We need to make this one. Yeah, okay. Well, just means we're gonna have to wait a lot longer for that, which I'm fine with. Harry, maybe me and you double up. We just each dig a fork into that and drive it up the hill a little bit. Yeah, Rob, you're not meant to unsnake them until you've like I don't fucking know. Let's just move them up next to that. See that brick wall up on the top left there? Let's just push them up the hill a little bit so they're out of the way of the entrance to these lower fields. And we can park the dog truck somewhere a little easier. I was hoping to have these out of the way by the time we did the rice harvest, but no matter. All right, I reckon just ditch them there, Haz, if you can, bud. Careful, mate. Just carefully undig those forks before you do anything. Just lift up the fork, like to go vertical with it. All right. There you go. Thank you, Harry. Very nice. Thank you, Jado. The crowd goes wild for that idea. That's a good one. So they're all shoved off to the side. Let's get this gear out of here, Harry Johnny. Okay. You're an Aussie, Jado. Welcome. On this farm, we have New South Welshmen, Queenslanders. We had a Victorian, but we haven't seen her for a while. We have New Zealanders. We have Europeans. Snakes on a farm. You said it, Rob. What a nightmare. Any Humst. Let's bring it in, guys. Harry, if you want to stick the Kubota there, back down at the shed, mate. Where is Yaz? Oh, she's selling stuff. Oh, nice, Yaz. So that's where the final dog truck is, off with Yasmin. Oh, legend. Thank you, Yaz. Thank you very much. You even left the chalk. You're on fire, Yaz. You're on fire. All right. Oh, sorry, Harry. Maybe we should go up to our potential homestead, our new, where we're sort of signing up the next iteration of the homestead. Yeah, that looks nice. That's really nice. Good looking farm. Yaz, that is a real power play. Thank you for doing that while me and Harry were floundering. You've put our financial situation ahead. Thank you. That's smart. So, just while we wait for Yaz to make the run back, I assume she's flying headlong across the map, potentially moving so fast that the human eye cannot perceive. Ah, there we go. Yeah, it's good to see you. Damn, nice one, Jaido. $606. Woof. Well done, dude. Love that. Bit of free money. I picked Dom Young first try scorer on Newcastle to win. Put a $5 on that. Walked away with a cold. I think it was at $45 when I did that. A lot of Cornettos, mate. A lot of Pokemon cards. No doubt about it. 8K, God. Well, anyway, back to the farm. It'd be funny if you could buy lotto tickets out here. I dated a girl and her dad just had stacks of them, stacks of dead lotto tickets on the counter, and he was a real fucking... Better than a poke in the eye, mate. Better than a poke in the eye. Okay, so I love days like today where we just take care of the little things. We don't... I mean, Yaz did all the serious work today. So thank you, Yaz, for taking care of business, the deliveries, and that was all Yaz and Harry Jonick that did that. I just made that TMR and stuffed up that silage, and yeah. The day was spent planning. And basically we've spelled out 3 different sort of paths for us to go down. We've got the house/shed realignment plan. where we would make a decision about a new shed or two, and we would potentially move the house up here behind us. Chop all these trees down, put it right there. We would stick the shed up there next to the windmill over there. A second storage shed, and we would have a gear shed down there next to the old house. That's a great plan that's ready to go, except we would like to do it with Bella Egerton present. So I don't know how we get onto Bella. I might write her a text or something and just say, we need you for a guest cameo, and get her down here in a sort of a overseery kind of role. Neek, welcome back. Sour Skittles for Harry Jonick, well earned. The other plan we have is the tractor plan, which would cost us about $420,000. We have that money. It would involve the purchase outright new of a tractor, which I'm not against. An alternate middle ground version of that plan would be to lease a large tractor, eat the 20K a day for 20K up front, and then I guess 5K a day, which would mean we could keep it for a year and then maybe get it secondhand or make another choice. I don't know. Me as well, Gonzo. The new wing, the additional wing. I've been referring to it as Spiffington Manse, a mansion in the hills. Welcome to the corridors of my mind. Neek, that's smart about the used market. Yeah, you know what? I think, yeah. The shiny new tractor thing, I think we do need to exercise some delayed gratification around that. That's my opinion. The final plan which is the plan that I'm championing, which I, have been not obsessing about, but since Yaz came up with the idea of honey, I've been pretty into the idea of cereal, just because we had a look, and each pallet of cereal sells for $4,000. I want to invest $650,000 in a new plot of land, which would feature an expanded short grain rice field, a long grain rice field, and a sugar beet patch, and a production facility to make cereal, which would be $250,000. Plus I put $50,000 on top. That's $600K plus I reckon another $50K for just whatever. Put a bit of fat on it. $650,000, we would have an operational cereal plant and new fields. We could break that plan down into segments if you guys wanted to. We would probably purchase the land first and get the fields up and running before we put in the cereal thing. So let's say $350K to get going. Yaz, the tractors we were looking at were, I budgeted $420K for that. $420K for the large tractor I set aside. Just, we're not going to spend more than that. We will probably spend less than that. $420K. Now, tomorrow we're going to have, the next 2 months, we're going to have the rice harvest. So let's forget about all this shit. Let's just stick our heads down, get this rice in. That's what we do here at the Calm Farm. We harvest rice. So let's do that. 2 months. That's probably, we can do that all tomorrow night, because I'm finishing work a little earlier this week. I'm finishing at 2:30 tomorrow. So maybe if we get everyone on deck, we can fly through both nights of rice harvesting. We then will be able to do a large sale. That'll put some money in the bank. If we can get our money looking more like 800K, suddenly that equals a tractor and a plot of land where we would begin the process of planting and harvesting rice. or Bates or whatever the fuck. Gonzo, you're right. We need a calm farm base of operations. I do have a pretty big Discord server that I'm just going to put a link to it in the chat right now. It's not specific to the Calm Farm. You're going to be exposed to the whole other world of what I get into. Don't worry about it. Don't anyone freak out. But there's a hashtag within, I'm going to drop the link. There's a hashtag within this thing called, I think it's just called The Farm. It is The Farm, not to be mixed up with the Q Farm. Different things. Let's have this as a starting point. How do I go to our live here? YouTube. Why is this so fucking janky? How does my phone not know I'm live? All right, everyone just chill. I'm gonna do it old school. Invite to channel. Copy. Yes. Can more than one person use that link? Is the question. That wasn't too hard for me to do that. I can get another link. Belopo, need to work on the depot. Yeah, the depot is a work in progress. That's that falls under the house/shed. Let's call it the depot plan. We do need more storage space. It's oh, Yaz. Love you, my liege. I should sign off as well. Nice one, Gonzo. Very nice. Agreed. Storage is key. Okay. Well, there we go. We've got one more person in the Discord. We'll work on that. I'll try and put it in my bio maybe on YouTube. So just have a look at that after this. Other than that, just hit subscribe on the YouTube, if only because then you'll all know that I'm doing this and you can come and make sure you don't miss any of this, because I do I don't want to make any of these. We have a beautiful farm. We have a beautiful, beautiful farm, and it's come about very organically. It's an organic farm. But the reason for that is that we all make the decisions together. And it takes a little longer, and it's, everyone has different ideas, but I do feel like even if we don't reach a complete consensus, that the combination of, we just want everyone to feel like they've been a part of the decision making, because then when it's shit, I don't have to take the blame. Got it, Gonzo. Thank you. I'll keep that in mind. Okay, Belopo. We try and keep it pretty vanilla out here, just to encourage. I don't know why we do that. We just try and keep it vanilla. Storage is key. Yes, we're going to add a shed. We're going to add another gear shed as well. We're going to add a second pallet shed and a gear shed. That's the plan at the moment, but we just need to figure out the layout. Anyway, tomorrow night, rice harvest. We're going to try and do a double harvest. I think it's possible. If we've got 3 farmers plus myself, we've got 4 farmers out here. I reckon we can fly through both harvests. That's my opinion. And then maybe get onto a sale. Anyway, it's an exciting time to be on the farm. I'm particularly excited by I see some new faces in there and I love that. Jado straight away coming through with a big clutch play. Belopo hitting us with a ton of good advice. Lovely to see you. Gonzo, great to be in the Discord with you, mate. Do write to me anytime. Neek, Harry Jonic, Mr. Cool if you're still there, all the rest. It's a pleasure. It's a dream. I love seeing you guys every night. It makes my job. I sit at work having the worst day and I think of this farm and I feel good. So thank you. And stay safe out there and stay positive about the future and keep your boots strapped tight and your eyes on the steeden. I'll see you all tomorrow night. Bye-bye, everybody.